So we're going through a separation. There could be kids involved, there could not be kids involved. We don't know if we're going through a divorce or not. Maybe we do know. She's blaming us of false abuse accusations. She's saying we have a drug problem. She's saying we have an alcohol problem, sex trafficking, all these different things that women often do when these separations take place, gossiping to the families are divided, taking sides, they're giving you all sorts of advice. I'm going to tell you something that is the number one thing of me coaching thousands of guys over the last 15 years through their divorce and custody battles to success. The number one thing that we do that is going to win your legal battle, if you have a legal battle, it's going to help navigate the repair of your relationship if you can get back together. It's going to navigate your own internal problems that might need to be fixed therapeutically or psychologically, and it's going to help completely stop the patterns that you may have done to get yourself into this situation, whether it's her fault, your fault, or both of your guys' fault. It's probably both of your guys' are. It takes two to tango in this. The number one thing is to sit down and write your story. And I get that right now you might be thinking the number one thing is that I need to gossip to my friends, I need to convince them that they're wrong, I need to spend time with others, and those things are really, really important. But man, if this goes to an actual divorce and you have a lot of property, a lot of assets, do yourself a favor, do this exercise that we're gonna break down in this video, because it will literally save you a minimum of $10,000 in your divorce and custody battle, but more likely upwards of $50,000 to $100,000, especially if you have that to lose. Let's not lose it, and let's start with this exercise. All right, let's get to it. What is happening, gentlemen? Steve Maeda. I have been a men's coach for the last 15 years, coaching men on the divorce, custody battles, so on. It gets messy, gets crazy. I've been through mine, and it was nuts. I totally ended up victorious in it, especially if you know my story. There were a lot of problems with a history of drug abuse. It's a big thing, as I also work with addicts regularly. Big thing with violence and abuse charges and so on. And I ended up in the best possible scenario in my divorce and custody battle, which, of course, we never want to have divorce and custody battles, but I have a lot of experience in it, and I've literally coached thousands of guys to getting what they want, what is best for their families, and also if they can repair their situation, how do they do that? It's a tricky thing, and there's a lot of bad advice out there. I also want to say I'm not a lawyer, I'm not a psychologist or a therapist, I'm a men's coach, and I practice specifically in this area. And I think it's really important for you to make the distinction. If you do need to talk to a mental health professional, man, please do not hesitate on that. And if you do need to talk to a lawyer about the many different legal things that go on with this, my advice does not replace any attorney or mental health professional's advice. So let's get into this exercise. This is one of the best things that I learned, and it may not sound like something that you want to do, but I'm just going to tell you right now, if there was one thing that you could do, it is this. And we talk about it in Divorce and Custody, the Survival Guide for Men. That's a product that we have which navigates us all. It's actually a community. So if you actually do purchase that product, where the link is down below, and if this is something you're really seriously going through, I would really advise you to take a look at that right now. The links are down below in the description. But it's a 4-part video series. It's PDFs. They're all time coded. Pages are sunk up with the video, as well as a community that you buy into for a month whenever you're a part of that course. You literally have 100 guys who have been there and done that, and myself coaching you all along the way through it. So if you are going through a divorce and custody battle, save yourself the tens of thousands of dollars that this product will save you, and get it and work it. And if you have something like hundreds or millions of dollars to lose, a divorce can definitely take a lot of that away from you in ways that you might not expect. So this exercise is interesting, and it's very simple. Now, I always say to handwrite it down, and there's a couple of reasons for that. One, I think that our psychology opens up a little bit more when we're free writing, when we're handwriting. If we type it out, that can happen. You could do either way. One of the other reasons why you might not want to type it out is because you don't want it to be stored on a cloud or anything that could be subpoenaed in your court case, because you might be mentioning things that might cause problems for you in your divorce or custody battle, or even the mediation involved in that. So when we're going through these things, we want to be really careful about how we, how we keep records of different things, because all that stuff can be subpoenaed. Every Facebook message, every email, every Instagram message, whether you delete it or not, can be subpoenaed and retrieved, and that could come out really bad in your divorce cases. But this exercise is fairly simple. We write down the story of our relationship. And for me, this took me 7 hours to do of straight writing. Now I write a lot and I'm used to it. It might take you a week, it might take you 3 hours. And it sounds like an arduous task, but we write out the beginning of our relationship, how we met. We talk about what it was like at first. Maybe we saw some red flags, maybe we didn't, maybe we were swept away by love, maybe we were stupid, maybe we loved it, maybe it was great. And we write about, how we moved in together, the moment that we knew we were going to propose to her, and all these different things when we had kids, and maybe the miscarriages or the different things that came to play, how it started to unfold and go downhill. And this is really amazing because if you do work with an attorney, and this is what I did, and what, again, tons of guys in our group have done and have experience with, is if you hand that over to your attorney, one, it's going to cost some money for him to read it, or him or her to read it, but he or she will be able to navigate and timeline your case. And one of the things that happened in my case is my case just stopped with a deposition. That was all we needed to do. We didn't need to go to court. Actually, we did go to a hearing, but the deposition was everything that we needed in order to establish everything that we wanted to get in divorce and custody. And I ended up on top, and in one of some unbelievable ways that a lot of people don't think are achievable for men. But that happened because my attorney was able to timeline everything, and in the deposition we were able to work in so many different angles, all from that story. And that was literally one of the most important things. Now, one of the other things that you're going to find is therapeutically, a lot of emotions are going to come up. If you are working with a therapist or you are working with a psychologist, this is going to be something that is massive for you to be able to cover with them. And when I say massive, I mean it is going to show your patterns. It is going to show you the holes. It is going to show you your dysfunctions. It is going to show you a lot. And let me just be clear about this. I understand that there's a lot of information out on the internet about, did I date a narcissist or a sociopath or psychopath? You may have, and that sucks, and that's really bad. But ultimately, we want to get to the point of, why are we choosing these people? Why are we saying yes to these people? Why are we accepting the lies? Why are we in denial of certain things? And if you want to guarantee a future of breaking those bad habits or being in these situations, you need to work with a professional on how to be able to see those things and be able to avoid them in the future and navigate yourself out of them, which can be really difficult. Things like codependency or things like dysfunctional behaviors and these types of things are really big problems, and they're very, very difficult to fix. And the likelihood of you fixing them on your own just by bearing through it and saying you don't need to do certain self-help exercises and explore yourself more deeply, that guarantees you either not having relationships ever or always having dysfunctional ones, and bringing the dysfunction out of a functioning person, which is a really terrible thing. So this is an exercise that is real simple to do. Again, you just write down, and it could take you many days to do. Like I said, I did it in one sitting, or I got up to go to the bathroom and so on. But you just write the beginning of how you met all the way to the end to how you broke up and what's happening now. And it's a really special thing. One thing that I do want to encourage you guys in is that if you do this, it can be mentally taxing and draining. Don't be afraid to go to the Austin Men's Development Facebook group. It's a free Facebook board, and you can find some support there. One of the problems with it being a free board is that it's a free board. So a lot of the guys, on a free board, you're always going to find things which there's less experienced people talking. If you do want to really invest in getting a guarantee for your divorce being the right outcome and the right thing, that's something that I do. That's something that we do as a group. That's something that we've done for 15 years as a community. That is something that there's a lot of proof of how well we can navigate that legally, therapeutically, in your future relationships, in your lifestyle, and cleaning up the different things of your life, and being able to navigate and mitigate all sorts of terrible things that happen in a divorce, and the blame and finger pointing. That is what we do best. Check out Divorce and Custody, the survival guide for men. It will save you literally tens of thousands of dollars just by working that course. And if you have more like millions to lose, it's very easy to lose that in a divorce and in a custody battle, let alone harming your future relationships with your kids, if you have them, and just your psyche in general, man. You as a divorced man can live a great life, and we are proof of that. My group and my community is absolute proof of that. The great life that you can live is limitless. It's not unrealistic. It's not fed by some fake alpha, over hyped masculinity stuff. It is very real that you can live a great life in every single way of your career, your relationships, your focus, your sense of self, and your general health in terms of your mind and your body. Those are guarantees. It just takes simple actions every day in order to do them. Check out the product down below. I hope you guys are doing well. If you have any questions, I'm best reached on the Austin Men's Development Facebook board. I get a lot of emails from you guys. I love the support on YouTube and on Facebook. But if you really want to talk to me and get the best advice, sign up for the product or hit me up on Facebook under the Austin Men's Development community. All right, we'll talk to you guys soon and hope you guys have a great, great day. All right, bye.